FAST is an evidence-based family engagement program which helps support families get more integrated into the school.
I saw things start to change. We saw parents and family members more often at the school.
School families who have come up to me and said, if it weren't for FAST, I don't know if I would have been as good a parent as I'd like to be.
The principal described that one of the differences for her was that several children who participated in the program would be kids who would be running around in the halls, screaming and yelling, breaking windows. And after going through the program, they were so well behaved that she had to go and check to see if they were present in school because it was too quiet. It's a program that should be just a part of every school, I believe.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to give you a warm welcome to the Wisconsin Education Forum hosted by Families and Schools Together. It's an honor that you took the time to spend with us to learn more about what is the state of education in Wisconsin and how does FAST fit into being a support system to our education system here in Wisconsin. It is an honor and a privilege to be the executive director of Families and Schools Together. Families and Schools Together is an amazing international program that works with children to really tap into their inherent potential and really help support and empower parents to be the leaders that we know they are, to create stability for their family and help their children attain educational success. Every parent, every single parent wants what's best for their child and knows what that is. Irregardless of their circumstances, where they come from, what their ethnic background is, FAST is for everyone. During this 8-week program that is facilitated by a team of community leaders, school personnel, and parent representatives, families build connections. Families build relationships within each family. They build relationships with family to other families, and they build relationships with families to the schools and the communities in which they live. We have the unique opportunity and pleasure to be the connector of those relationships. The FAST program is a well-established, evidence-based program, proven to engage parents for the long-term success of their child educationally.
I was born in Chicago, and when I was 2, I moved to Germany, and then we moved to France for 3.5 years, where I went to French school. And then we came back to Washington, D.C. for 5 years. Then we moved to Turkey. So before I went to the university at Oberlin College to major in philosophy, I had gone to 20 schools in 5 countries. So I went to university at Oberlin College in Ohio and studied philosophy. I became very active in civil rights and in social justice there. Then I went to get a master's degree in social work on the East Coast. I studied community organizing and group work and working with parents and children and family therapy. And I got a PhD at University of California, Irvine. I got my PhD before I had children. And I was shocked to find out how little I knew about raising a child, even though I'd been teaching child development and family therapy for years, and found that there was a huge gap. There was a lot of stuff that was pretty new and also historically relevant that people didn't know. And I wanted to bring that information to them. It was information I had used. So in that sense, it was very personal because I knew from my own work with my own kids and then sharing these ideas with other parents that these would be valued things that people would want to learn and know about, and it would benefit their kids if they did. At the university, I very much thought that there were things I was teaching which could be beneficial to people in the community. And so I left the university and started developing theory-based family interventions and evaluating them. So I've developed many different programs, but I decided this was worth rigorous investigation, which is Families and Schools Together for 4 to 5-year-olds. it has meaning. When I train internationally, I say families and schools together help the child succeed. Hello, I'm Dr. Lynn McDonald, and I'm here to welcome you to a bit of the history, the FAST past. I developed the FAST program when I was a single mother living in Madison. I had left the university and was working at the time to develop a prevention of teenagers who were in trouble going into the court system. And I also then developed a program to use family therapy to reduce the children who were at risk of going into foster care, which is part of the pipeline. So these were based on the social ecological theory of child development, which says the relationships between the child and the parent are affected by the relationships of the parent and the community, are affected by relationships of the family and the community and schools and the community. All of these were interventions based on those ideas. At that time, I thought, maybe there's an easier way to do this, which is to start working with schools as partners and asking teachers to screen and think about who would need extra support from families. And I developed multifamily groups in Lowell School, which was our first one funded by United Way. We grew into 114 school districts across Wisconsin. We had programs everywhere. And that was thanks to the funding at the state level. And the program grew to 23 countries around the world. We would go to the school principal and say, would you be interested in a program that can empower parents to be part of a community where the parents get networked with each other? And because of that, the stress and isolation is reduced and the families are calmer at home, they have less conflict. The children start behaving better in the school and they start having anticipation of learning and motivation to improve their situation. And then with COVID, the schools closed. We're now in a situation where we're going, how can we fit in to what the current needs are? Because our program is based on stress and isolation. What do families need? And how can we adapt a multifamily group process to fit the priorities of the stresses that are local and timely at this time? Since it's a theory-based program, it's very adaptable. There's a lot of need for parents because of online teaching and being at home alone with the children all the time. There's room again for FAST to have special ability to help family conflict and help the children be adapting in a routine that nourishes them, as well as staying connected to the school, even if you haven't been there, and building the frayed relationships that COVID has produced that are chance possibly really exacerbate the disparities of the education and health that we know exist in Madison and Wisconsin already. The school that my 5-year-old granddaughter goes to is at one city school, and that's in Madison with a priority for race disparities being addressed directly with very creative educational approaches, including the FAST program. And my granddaughter, Susie Lynn, actually went to FAST online, on Zoom. And she did that, and we graduated from it just 2 weeks ago. You can imagine that for me, how wonderful this is to travel all over the world and come back to Madison and find that this is benefiting my granddaughter, who lives just 3 blocks down the street. How old are you?
5.
That's very good. Susie, did you say you went to FAST?
Yeah.
Did you graduate?
Yeah.
Do you have a certificate?
Yeah.
What did you like best about FAST?
Winning.
Did you win the lottery?
Yeah. So that's where I'm coming to next fast.
Oh, you're going to come again to FAST?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Families and schools
Schools
together.
FAST.
Yeah.
And so we were able to create Fast at Home as an innovative approach to our program that allowed us to help continue to build those relationships, which is what we do best, by using virtual communication, by using activities and modifications that would allow parents to do Fast at home with their children, and then have weekly check-ins with school personnel to keep them connected. And even though the building wasn't open, everybody's hearts were still open. Everybody's minds were still open, and still being able to build that relationship and have those connections was really important in a very, uncertain time because of all of the things that are going on with COVID, and seeing how it is negatively affecting children and families at home. It was very evident to us at Families and Schools Together that we had to do something to create a new innovation of our program and reintroduce it as early childhood education FAST. That work of covering and working with children 0 to 5 is so important. There's so much research about why it's so important to focus on the 0 to 5 age range, and how important it is to have Families and Schools Together give parents that opportunity to build relationship so young in those early years that will carry that family and that child throughout their educational learning. It's a pleasure to welcome Colleen Kerr as a featured speaker for our event today, as he is a well-known, well-recognized education reformer, not only in the state of Wisconsin, but nationally. Thank you, Colleen, for being with us. Let's hear what he has to say.
Greetings. My name is Colleen Kerr, and I'm the founder and CEO of One City Schools in Madison, Wisconsin. Currently, we serve children as young as 2 years old through our preschool, and also children through second grade in our public charter elementary school, which is chartered by the University of Wisconsin system. We'll eventually grow that school through fourth grade this coming fall, and then beyond that through high school graduation. However, I'm not here to talk about One City. I'm here to talk about the Families and Schools Together program, also known as FAST. We have enjoyed a partnership with FAST since 2016. We first opened our preschool in 2015 and then spent that year working on a plan with FAST where we could offer FAST in a preschool environment, be one of the first to do that. Because we saw a very serious need for having a program that would help us build strong relationships with our families, to help families build strong relationships with each other, and to help our parents build strong, really educationally focused relationships with their children. And so we decided in 2016 to begin that journey together with the financial support of the United Way of Dane County, Madison Community Foundation, and part of a grant that we received from the CUNA Mutual Foundation. And so it was a $100,000 investment in our program over a 2-year period so that we would actually own the license for the FAST program for our growth going forward. But let me tell you, this program has been so critical for our school. Not only has it helped contribute to tremendous involvement among our families, it is not unusual pre-COVID, or if you came to one of our events, to see a packed room full of parents. Our rooms got so packed that in our facility that we were previously in our preschool, we could no longer fit all the families that would attend, for example, our quarterly showcases for our extended learning program. We had to move it to Madison College on the south side. And at that event, we had over 270 family members join to celebrate their children. And our school, you guys, that's a lot of people for our school. We also have enjoyed 100% participation in parent-teacher conferences at our school every year since we started. There's never been a time where we don't have all of our parents participate in those, including during this virtual time. We have had all of our families show up to their virtual teacher conferences. It's taken a little work to get some to participate, but because of that strong relationship that our school has with our families, we're able to make that happen. It's shown up in our children's achievement results too, where we're not required to share our data statewide yet because we don't have children in third grade yet. Our data that we do have shows that our children are outpacing children in the Madison Metropolitan School District, for example, students of color, by far. And we think that that's not only because of what we do here, but it's that unique relationship and bond that we've been able to form with our families. We also have parents serving on our board. We have 3 board members who are parents. We have a parent-led parent council where our parents actually, they lead it. We work together. They help us with our families. They help us with our schools. We respond to their needs. It's a really great way for us to engage with them. And then also through the magnitude and many events that we offer, you will see families participating in a lot of ways. We had an auction of clothing. It's free, but families brought clothes to the school to support each other that way. We've had food drives. We've had parents and field trips. We've had all kinds of things that we've done over these last few years with our families. And I can tell you that without FAST, that bond that we have with them would not exist. FAST is research-based, and the research is real. I'm one who had to see it to believe it, and I saw it back in the early 90s when Dr. McDonald invited me to Lowell School to see what they were doing there with families. And after talking with those parents, I was blown away that this was actually a program that was truly getting families who look like me engaged in schools and feeling connected there. That's been a challenge, especially in our community in Madison. And so when we were starting One City, I wanted the best. And so not only did we get FAST up and running, Dr. McDonald, the founder of FAST, joined our board. And so we've been lucky to be engaged with this program, but we would like to see this program grow in our community. Everything we do at One City Schools is to be a model for everywhere else. We're trying a lot of the things that people have said throughout time should be tried in schools. And we've been fortunate to have a lot of community support to manifest a really transformational model of education, preschool, eventually through high school right here in our city. And so we know that if more schools partnered with FAST, they would see greater engagement of their families in those schools. Now they have to have some resource people that have managed FAST in their schools. But if they can do this, you all, if you can support it, I guarantee you'll see greater engagement of families that you would not think would come to school or get involved in school in this program, in our schools. And so if there's anything you need from us, any questions you have for me or our staff, we are happy to answer them. We are huge champions for FAST. Everything we do in our schools going forward is going to have FAST being an anchor partner with us. So we're thankful for Dr. McDonald, for Ms. Tony Rivera and her team members, Jessica, who's working with them now, and all the others who have made and continue to make FAST the exceptional program that it is. So thank you for your time. Again, please reach out to us if you have any questions. We're happy to answer them. Thank you so much.
Wisconsin, for many years, has had the largest achievement gap for Black and Brown children. With FAST being in Wisconsin and having such a strong ability to bring people together, we are at the forefront. We should be at the table of helping to change that achievement gap. And we in Wisconsin can do it. You have some of the most brilliant educators, community leaders, educational system teachers, principals, all of them. It is not an easy job. But in order to change that achievement gap, it will take all of us having to come together to create the impact that we need so that we can have a better future for all children of Wisconsin and see them thrive. So you get the opportunity to hear from Oscar Morales. One of the things that him and I share is this unique observation about what is needed in terms of breaking down barriers for our Black and Brown children in our community and in our educational system. Oscar, as the leader that he is, as the executive director of Omega School, a wonderful program in Madison that helps people on their journey to education by first obtaining a high school diploma or a GED. Let's hear what Oscar has to share.
Well, Tony, it's great to be here today. I've had the pleasure of working at Omega School for the past 27 years, and Omega is unique. We help young adults individually go back and prepare for their GED, HSED diploma. A lot of our students have had not a good experience in the school setting. And often when I meet their parents, they have not had a good experience. I think what FAST does is really build that connection between the school, the students, and their family. So I think that partnership, I know for the students that I meet, has been missing. They even literally going into the school building creates a lot of anxiety for a lot of our parents because they didn't do well in school. I know here locally, a lot of our Black and brown students were not in a position to complete high school in traditional setting, with 30 to 40% of the students not graduating after 4 years. So pre-pandemic, we had a lot of challenges. I think both for adults and for children, the isolation has been created some very difficult times for a lot of people. Even those people who school it would have been a positive experience, the pandemic and the social distancing and isolation has made things a lot more difficult. I think any way we can empower parents in a positive way, which I think FAST is, any way we can empower parents to get involved in their children's education, any efforts to do that will only end up with something positive for our community and for our schools. So it makes a difference both for the administration and both for the teachers and support staff when they see and as any diverse parent come in the building. One, you get noticed. So one, bringing parents in, and then I think secondly, giving parents the tools to kind of understand what their role is as parents and first educators, the tool to be able to, in a positive way, speak with school administration, speak with teachers, whether at a parent-teacher conference, clearly kind of knowing what to ask and how to support their child. And I think finally it shows their children that school is important because mom's here, mom or dad are here. And that means, I need to take this a little more seriously. So I think that, parent engagement, student preparation, whether it's preschool or, 4-year-old kindergarten, and having schools be responsive. I think those three things really come together as part of FAST.
We invited Jessica Cavazos to share a few words with you today. Her understanding of what strong economic development looks like in our community, especially our Latino community, coupled with understanding how important for our entrepreneurs and their own families, those family connections are. So Jessica is here to share a few words about those connections in our Latino community and why it's so important.
Hi, my name is Jessica Cavazos. I am the president and CEO of the Latino Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin. I'm so happy to be here to promote and support Families and Schools Together. Families and Schools Together, FAST, is a nationally recognized program, an internationally recognized program that helps families and schools unite and bond to help support our children. As a dual language speaker and someone who had a lot of support from her school, I think our children deserve that chance and that opportunity to succeed and have the right infrastructure for their parents to also help them succeed. Latinos are the fastest growing populations here in Wisconsin and in the United States. And FAST has wonderful sessions and programming, especially targeted and culturally appropriate for that population. As a chamber that advocates for businesses and for strong communities, we believe FAST gives families the opportunity to strengthen their bond and help parents become strong advocates for their children and for their children's future. Así que me gustaría que apoyaran a FAST, porque FAST de verdad les importan a nuestras comunidades como a los estudios de nuestros hijos y el progreso de nuestros hijos. Les doy las gracias y hasta luego.
I learned about FAST a couple of years ago when I was at a conference. I met Molly and Kelly out there, and they talked about some of the work that they do in family engagement and working with families to build kind of more sustainable relationships.
What I'm looking for is how it can help a lot of our rural schools in Wisconsin, providing family services that in many of our cases, a lot of our counties can't provide.
For teachers and staff, I believe that having this institute will shed a new light that they may not have considered before.
I would define them as one of the leading best practice groups around family engagement strategies and engagement tools out there.
FAST is one of those resources that we have found that we can bring out to them and say, okay, here are some resources this organization can help you with family engagement.
We enjoy the FAST program because it makes our existing families at our school come together and learn from each other.
We're circling back and saying, here's an additional support, here's an additional resource that can help you stay on track and deepen the work of family engagement.
The whole FAST program in the schools is what's needed now today more than ever.
It is such an honor and privilege to have Chris Andrews with us today. Christine Andrews knows and recognizes the strong potential that Families and Schools Together has and its unique opportunity to impact families and communities, but also to draw funds from the federal government to support the strong work that Families and Schools Together does for our communities.
Well, I'm honored to be here, and I have spent a little more than 40 years in state and federal government and working with the University of Wisconsin Board of Regents and presidents of the UW system. My policy work has been primarily focused on education. And when I retired from the UW system, I was looking for opportunities to make a difference. And FAST showed up at my doorstep, and I wrapped my arms around it because I truly believe that this is the kind of disruptive program that changes futures for children and helps give parents and schools the tools they need to make sure that their children succeed in their lives. This program was started in Wisconsin, and it was adopted across the state of Wisconsin. So it's been offered in every school district. It is in every congressional district, in every Senate district, in every assembly district. It has had wide bipartisan respect. And from there, it has been adopted in 800 school districts in 45 states across the United States and in 25 countries. It is evidence-based, and it shows that it works. This program has received federal funding through the U.S. Departments of Justice, through the U.S. Department of Education, the U.S. Department of Health, and in fact, the United Nations named it one of the top family skills programs in the world. There were pre-existing racial disparities before, but these disparities are going to be exacerbated without the intervention and the support of programs in our schools, with our teachers, and working in conjunction with our children and parents in programs like FAST. As the federal Congress and the Biden administration and the Evers administration, and I know all of our school districts are looking at how do we bring children back? How do we really connect children and parents and communities? And how do we rebuild that now is the time to relaunch FAST and to make an investment in a program that has demonstrated significant results. There has been less funding for public schools in Wisconsin to offer innovative programs like these. They have had to really stick with the bare bones. And at the same time, that this program has been expanded across the United States. As we're looking down the road to this budget and our coming budgets, I think that it's really important that we look at preventative programs, not just filling the gaps, but look at opportunities to serve holistically children and families and school. I hope our leaders in our community will look strongly at this program and help us build the coalitions we need to relaunch it, to sustain it, and to make the kinds of investments that will serve our children over many decades to come. Help Wisconsin be first. Help us build sustained funding across America for a program like FAST. It is a Wisconsin idea gem and something that we can all be proud of.
Families and Schools Together has decided that our next focus for the next 4 to 5 years is going to be early childhood education centers, daycares, and elementary schools. Because we know the earlier that we engage families, especially parents, in the education and child development of their children, the better the success for the child and for the family. And let me just say, when a family engages in Families and Schools Together's program, the FAST program, we have seen that not only does the child educationally do better, but parents themselves feel empowered to go back for education, to lift their family up even higher out of poverty. So FAST becomes then that resilience builder in many families' lives. Another featured speaker for today is Dr. Jack Daniels, a well-loved, well-respected leader in the Madison community. He is the president of Madison College, a wonderful institution helping individuals on their journey for education attainment. Let's hear what Dr. Daniels has to say.
People who attend Madison College come from a wide range of backgrounds and life experiences. Some are traditional 17 to 24-year-olds, while others are older and coming back to complete a GED, accent the training they already have, or find a new skill that helps them compete in the economy. No matter their age, our focus is to provide them an education that is accessible and affordable, and one that meets the changing needs of our communities. We are working to build resilient communities that are able to overcome life's challenges. Resilience is the key. That is why I have been an early supporter of the Families and Schools Together program, known as FAST. I view it as a program laying the tracks for resilient communities. FAST builds relationships in education, which is a core foundation of future success. When children are exposed to different careers, to post-secondary degrees, certificates, or trades, they can see those as options for themselves. FAST helps support that by creating a community of champions around each child and family, relationships that last over time. The same holds true for parents of children in the program. They are surrounded by key communities of support, and it is not uncommon for parent graduates to approach their degree once they complete the FAST program. After being in FAST, they feel they can achieve it. FAST is creating a community-supported pathway into Madison College for both children as well as for parents. This is especially important among our diverse racial, ethnic, and socioeconomic communities who have traditionally not had that combination of support systems around them. When FAST is administered in local communities, it is by people who are representative of the parents and children they are serving. To succeed, one needs to see someone else who looks like them succeeding. This makes FAST unique. FAST is ideal because it recognizes the existing strengths in each community and brings those partners together under one program to build positive, empowering relationships and connections within and among families to best support our youngest learners and our diverse learners. FAST instills confidence and builds resilience. It teaches compassion and helps build bridges within and across communities. As we go through this current health crisis, it is even more important we consider FAST. Children and families are isolated in a way we've never experienced. FAST is preventative. FAST will counter the isolation. Our families need resilience now more than ever. Madison College is a proud supporter of the FAST program, and we welcome opportunities to expand the program.
It is an amazing experience to be able to travel to see our programs in action and see the amazing, amazing results our program has with children and families, and how empowered parents feel, no matter what the parent looks like or where they come from. Their common bond is their children and the experience in the Families and Schools Together program.
What I liked about coming to FAST was the community and meeting the other parents and getting to know them.
We're first-time parents, so feeling like we don't know anything, but then to hear other parents have the same feelings, it's really reassuring.
You do get time to talk with other parents, and that part is the best part.
What I got from FAST as a parent is the confirmation that everybody else is going through exactly what I'm going through. Being worried about whether or not you're doing things right, or if you're struggling with something at home.
You get to learn from other parents, you get to be with other parents, you get to talk, you get to see how other people interact with their children.
I've seen a lot of different benefits from coming here. We got a chance to bond together as a family. I like for my kids to get to bond with their other classmates outside of school. We leave here and we talk about it, and I just love the atmosphere altogether.
The reason that we invited these speakers today is that they are strong supporters of the work that we're doing in the community through Families and Schools Together. It's an honor to work alongside of them, and it's an honor and a privilege to have their support. We hope that you learned a lot today about education, some of the people, the movers, the shakers, the community stakeholders who are involved in really changing the educational landscape, especially for children of color. Thank you for joining us for that. But with that, we still need others to join us, and there's room for you too. We are growing our list of community stakeholders to help join with us in securing funds federally and locally to support the work that FAST is doing. If you liked what you heard today or have some questions or want more information, please feel free to go to the Families and Schools Together website. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a pleasure. Please take care.